All right, guys, welcome to the Man United Agenda. I'm joined by Bath Time and I'm joined by Kahinde as well. And rejoice, guys. It's going to be a good show. It's full of tea, full of smiling, and full of a revision lesson about what qualities make Manchester United good. Welcome to the Man United Agenda. We're back. It's Monday. We didn't do a show over the weekend. We should have, because it was a fantastic weekend, wasn't it? Not just for Man United, but for grassroots as well. Well, I don't know. I'm guessing after a 1-1 draw last week, Bath Time, against these ex-pros that you were playing against, Liverpudlian Scousers. How did you get on this weekend? Talk to me.
A much easier game, but unfortunately on Friday night I was left home alone, so I ended up getting a bit drunk and playing Just Dance till about 3 a.m, which isn't ideal preparation for a football game in like 36 hours. But yeah, we won 2-0, easy game, easy life, great weekend. How did you get on?
Over to you, Kahinde. How did we get on Sunday?
We won 7-2.
Yeah,
against the same team that we beat 13-1 the previous week. But this time they had 11 players and a few more.
So yeah, a good result for us. We've done really well, but we got a crunch game this weekend against the team that beat us early in the season. It's like Arsenal Man City sort of type game, because I think it'd be us to challenge for the title. So yeah, we're delighted with our win, but we can't get complacent, can we? That's the most important thing going forward. Check out Woodlands FC on Instagram, Facebook, and you can see all the highlights recorded by myself and some funny moments as well. Kahinde, do you want to say credit to my brother? He's played centre-back for our team, played every single game, played in pre-season as well, been solid as a rock, forming a good partnership. But because this is about the squad, it's about the team and harmony, he decided to drop out and sacrifice himself and let someone else play in his position. One of his guys who's fighting for his position, and he stood up and said before the game, "I'll drop out. You can have a run out today." And credit to you, bro. And what's all that about? I mean, how's that going to help us in the long run?
I think just the things in the WhatsApp group were getting a bit heated, and you got to keep peace and harmony in the squad. That's what I'm trying to do. It's a game that I didn't really need to play in. And other players need minutes. It's good for everyone to get a run out. And I think that's how it should be. You don't have to play every single game. I want to play this weekend against the bigger team. But yeah, it's all about squad rotation. We've got to keep the squad happy and keep the morale up.
Credit to you, bro. Credit to you. And you got a lot of respect for that. Big T's in the house saying we witnessed the Ranchik cake 90 minutes with the dream topping of injury time. Talk about the game of the weekend. A shocking 90 minutes. Once again, no identity, no effective system. Again, no Nana left his hands in his kit bag. The man needs to be dropped. He's staying there. A lot of moaning and groaning. Big up to Black Bolt. I haven't seen you for a while. Welcome back. There's even everyone. Amazing victory. Plucked out the jaws of defeat for sure. You can interact with us, obviously, at the Man United Agenda, at Man United Agenda. Thank you. MEFC Brummy Reds, how you doing? Said hi, Man United Agenda. Hello to you. Greetings. Let's hear what you got to say about the game of the weekend. Big up to Vincent again. 2 days late, lads. Yes, but we're not talking about the game directly. Zoe Media House. Long time no see. How you doing, girl? Grand evening. I mean, grand means large, doesn't it? Large evening. Yes, we're going at it. And Alex is in the house as well. So I must say Maguire had a decent game. There were mistakes, but overall I think he did fine. Holland looked good. Bruno made some mistakes. McTominay did fantastic in the box with 2 goals. Big ups to him as well. First of all, come on, guys, let's get into this. Let's just talk about this quickly. I know everyone's talked about it. We've seen the game. We were 1-0 down. We weren't really sort of breaking them down too well. I saw the second half, and I was delighted with the finish. Bath Time, you're more qualified than me and my brother. We had things to do on Saturday. We weren't around. What happened with the drama at Old Trafford? So just give us a little summary of what happened, the way you saw things.
It's quite difficult to put into words what I saw, to be honest. I mean, we've all seen it, but I think on the 88th minute, we were going nowhere. Like, Delo dead on his feet. The team not really making any chances. We'd seen Eriksen had a pot shot from 30 yards. It just felt that we were just, as fans, going through the grinder, watching an insipid, flaccid display. And then, off the bench, with like light shining on him, comes like an Avenger in Scott McTominay. And the man played like he had some sort of weaponized form of rabies. He was bloody everywhere for 5, 6, 7 minutes. And we like Garnacho, he got the ball. It was terrifying on the replay because it could have gone out of play. It might not have gone out of play. He cuts it back fairly poorly. Delo takes a shot. I don't know if you noticed, but Delo was just sitting on the floor for the rest of that passage of play. The man was dead on his feet. And then it pinballs about and McTominay takes a touch from Zidane and then like just smacks it in the bottom corner and we're off. And then, I don't even remember, but there was a free kick. I don't know how it happened, why it happened. I wasn't wearing a lot of clothes at this point, to be honest. It was like Bruno just pumps it. For every Sunday League player in the world, he just get it in the box, let's go, no poetry, pumping only. And then Harry Maguire, criticised, ridiculed, hated, neutered. That big head of his gets on it, and then Scott McDocumentary, with just images of Netflix going through his mind, gets his head to it. It's not the greatest header, and then it's ecstasy. And it's the reason we watch football. But the thing is, Amonde, it's got to count for something.
Yeah.
It's got to. We can't have moments like that just because we got 9th against a poor Brentford team. It's got to mean something at the end of the season.
I love what you just summarised there about the game. Obviously, everyone's seen it, but the way you just talked about it, I'm inspired. I remember that 2-2 against Sheffield United when Steve Bruce scored a late goal. It was like that, wasn't it? I remember 99 in the Champions League final when we had 2 late goals and won the game. Turned it around for Man United. I just want to read out a passage here because you're talking about it has to mean something.
Yeah.
Do you know a guy called Muhammad Ali?
Vaguely.
He's a boxer.
Okay.
Yeah, 1970s or something like that, 80s, 60s, you know. Anyway, he said, champions have to have the skill and the will. So champions have to have the skill and the will. But then he goes on to say, but the will must be stronger than the skill. So basically he's saying champions have to have the will. That comes before everything. So I'm going to name some names here and honourable mentions to talk about having will over skill. All these players have got skill. They've made it pros. But having that will and wanting the desire to win, and what made us win the other day, McTominay, the guy who gets pelters, who's built. I saw a picture of him with his top off the other day. He's tonk. He's like a brick wall. He's got abs. He's got cuts. He's lean. He's mean. What a machine he is. And fair play to him. I love him. I know he's going to be on side right now with the Man United agenda, but I'm saying I love that guy because he's got the will to win. Also, shout out to Harry Maguire. He hasn't got the skill so much, but he's got the will to get up there and no one's winning headers. Pinnock is 6'10" or whatever, the Norwegian centre back. No one was winning headers all game. Harry Maguire gets up there, gets that key header to slot it to Scott McTominay for the goal, and he showed a lot of skill. A little bit of skill and a lot of will. The will comes from getting pelters, being beat down day in, day out, and coming back and still performing. And when he's called up for, that's will. Love that, guys. And also to Rasmus, I think he's got the skill and a lot of will as well. I think he's got the right character as well. So these are 3 players we're talking about who have got the will over the skill so much, and that's what we need to be champions. To not just, I'm not saying we're winning the title, but to be champions, to turn us around. That's what's needed. Shout out to Hannibal as well, because I think he's also another person who's been instrumental in the last few weeks, coming in, scoring a great goal, being the desire and the will. He's got that, and he's got lots of talent as well. And then we're talking about Rashford and Casemiro, who got subbed off. there's the comparison there about the skill and the will. Have Rashford and Casemiro got the will to take us forward? I don't know. So, Kahinde, what do you think about that? You love Muhammad Ali. You know what it takes. That he was a skillful fighter, but what made him great, he had the will on top of that. I'm talking about Hannibal. I'm talking about McTominay, Harry Maguire, Rasmus. Do you agree that these guys have actually got all that, and those are the credentials you actually need to be winners?
Yeah, of course. And I really think that our squad is really well balanced in terms of like we've got really good technical players like Ericsson and all that, but then we've got hungry players like McTominay, and he's a good squad player to keep around. I'm not saying that he should start every game, but things like that, the goals that we scored against Brentford were just, well, I don't want to say route one, but it's just like simple goals, and Maguire and McTominay's assets were needed, where someone else wouldn't have had the will, like you say, to win that header and get us over the line. So yeah, I think those players that you named, they've definitely got the will, and they've had a good career because of that. And yeah, I'm happy. I think we're the significance of the game. I really feel like we're turning things around, because from the games that I have seen this season, I don't think we've played that badly, and I just think we've had a bit of bad luck. And I really believe in the squad and the players that we've got. When everyone gets back fit, we've got a lot of injuries, but I think when everyone gets back fit, I think we're gonna do something big, honestly.
Skill and the will. Look, it's all about desire, isn't it? And sometimes you have to go the extra mile and not just take your wages and think everything, be content what you got there. Is that what you're witnessing here with those sort of players? Name some players that have got a will that at Manchester United and in world football who've made it on will alone, and might not have the talent, but people in sports who've had that desire to sort of achieve and be champions. Halftime, over to you.
Azpilicueta is the first person I think of who I don't think is Jamie Carragher. Like players who got to the top but weren't phenomenally skilled. I mean, I suppose the ultimate combination of it is Ronaldo, who had the skill, but it's his will that got him up to levels with Messi.
Good job.
Who's just he's either a freak or a gift, depending on what team you support, I suppose. But I do think it's a little bit unfair to sort of say it's just will, because what we've seen from McTominay, well, maybe not at Man United, but we've seen him taking chances for Scotland, and now he's doing it for Manchester United, and he is up. We've seen Bruno, Mount, Hannibal, Ericsson. Do you trust any of them to score those goals in that last minute? Because it's the combination. It's like McTominay's touch and ball strike for the first goal. It's very difficult to find a defensive midfielder that can do that in world football. I'm not saying McTominay's one of the best in world football, but it's outrageous to have that skill set, to be able to bring down a ball and volley it in the 90th minute, surrounded by one of the by a 5-man defensive block. It's not just will, Amonde, but this actually leads me.
Before you there, I'm going to pop off for a minute and I'll give Andy the link. Andy, I'm coming to Facebook. That's the only place I know where you're at to give you the link right now. I'll be back in a sec, guys. Go on.
Yeah, this is silver service, right? Kahinde, I've got a question for you, and it's something I haven't seen brought up a lot, but is it somewhat of a worry that McTominay's performance was motivated more by Netflix than by Ten Hag?
Why do you say more by Netflix than Ten Hag?
Because he said that the night before he watched the Beckham documentary and was thinking about Kath on reception, the kit man, what it means to be the club, and there was no mention of Ten Hag said anything. He just put this methed up McTominay out on the pitch, and McTominay did it. But should we be sort of worried that Netflix is motivating squad players more than our manager?
I wouldn't read too much into that. I think from what I saw last season, Ten Hag does appreciate McTominay, and been things like apparently he's one of the best trainers in Man United. He gives a lot in training. He's always one of the best outstanding performers. And he has been appreciated by Ten Hag and previous managers as well, like Ranieri. So I think he's appreciated as a player, but I just not maybe as a first teamer. And I don't know if I know you're a big fan of his, but I love him as a squad player. But my issue with him is that obviously he's got the determination. And
yeah, but this is all about McTominay as a player. I'm talking about like the motivation.
No, I know what you were saying. I'm getting to that. I don't. I think his character is like he's always had that determination, hasn't he? He's always had that determination and drive, regardless. And we see it on the pitch. And I don't think obviously you mentioned that Netflix, thing, but I don't think that was like a driving force into him.
Are you sure? I think it was.
I don't think so.
Amonde, this is what I'm saying.
To Ten Hag that he's an asset to the team, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel that Ten Hag does value him. I think McTominay knows that as well. But at the same time, there was rumours that he was for sale at the right price, but we did reject the offer from him, 40 million, 35 million.
Sorry, what are you guys talking about here?
One thing that I haven't seen mentioned that has concerned me a little bit, Monday, is that it's Andy Tate. One thing that's concerned me is that I think that McTominay was more motivated by Netflix than he was by our manager.
Go on. Because of what? The nostalgic feeling of the 90s. What is it?
Yeah, like, 'cause he watched the Beckham documentary. He's talking about Cath on reception, kit men, what it means to be the club and stuff. And he says it comes from a Netflix documentary, not from no mention of the manager. And I just I just wonder if there's something there where Netflix is motivating players to score twice in the last 5 minutes instead of Eric Ten Hag, who, to be honest, lost on the touchline for the majority for the last 15 minutes.
All right. Andy's just joined us. Andy, before we start, I'm just going to go for some comments because we're neglecting the guys who's talking about this McTominay thing. Scott Mac documentary, sorry. That's on Black Bolt. I'm 43 tomorrow, was in the Matchday program. Big up, Vincent. Happy birthday for tomorrow. Big up, man. Bend it like Matt Beckham, says Rajat as well. Bruce 2-1 versus Sheffield Wednesday, by the way. That was a great finish, wasn't it, from Bruce? Scott McTominay ain't even average, to be fair. Rajat saying here, Haaland may be overrated as well. Big up everyone for Ed Mayhem. A player to have both skill and the will, not either. So he wants players to have both attributes. McTominay is crap, said Rajat. He asked the player who's got the will over the skill. We gave some good names. You said Jamie Carragher, didn't you, for half time? Well, Rajat's saying Gary Neville. He's also saying here Phil Neville was better at cricket than football, or wanted football more. So that's having more will. I want Wayne Rooney playing a role at Manchester United to Zoe Media House. LP saying here, squad well balanced for what exactly? Europa League quarterfinals. We hardly have a defence, mid-table, midfield, 1.5 decent strikers as well. So LB is not happy. Big T saying here, McTominay has to play attacking midfielder going forward. Alex saying here, that was McTominay coming up as a striker in the academy. Jamie, how you doing? We're playing you next, Jamie, in a couple of weeks after the international break. He says, hi, everyone. I'm new to the channel. I'm a Sheffield United fan. Hopefully you can come on and give us a talk before the game and do a preview. Big up, Jamie. I hope you're doing well. Drop Bruno, play McTominay is number 10. Muscle sign from Big T. And I want to put that right. Rooney is coming back to England to visit family, not visit Man United, from Vincent. McTominay needs to fill in up front. In midfield, it blends in. And there's so many comments coming through. We're going to stop it there because we're over to you. You've heard the talk, Andy Tate. We ain't seen you for a while. Hope all is well with you. But were you at the game, first of all, and give us a little summary about what we're saying here, having the skill, having the will over the skill, and how important that is when you get results like that.
Having the will's one thing, but having the skill's another. You've got to have both. Now, I think that was a nice tribute to Lady Ferguson, Cafe, God rest her. and the Ferguson family. And I think that was it. You know what I mean? And it was sunshine. It had to be that. It was the ultimate tribute to the Ferguson family. But you could see on Saturday they were lacking ideas. I've watched Match of the Day. I've seen Ian Knight find it out. There's positions they want to play safe. They don't want to attack. People were saying it. You could see it from the top of the stands. I don't know if you could see it in the bowl, but when you're in a higher stand, you got a little bit of a view, and it's like a billiard table. You can see where you should play the ball, where you should make the pass, but they're not doing it. It was very safe football, very lackluster. No urgency, no penetration, no going at him. Look, I know we've been on a bit of a downer the last 2 games, but the previous 2 games we played well. I thought we turned the corner. We were beating Burnley. We beat Crystal Palace with a team, and that was the best we've played all season.
Yeah.
And he changed it. If it ain't broke, why fix it? For last Saturday against Crystal Palace. And I could understand maybe changing for the European game, but he went with it again. And you know what? After 70 minutes, even when we went to 90 minutes, I thought, we're not getting anything out of this. Honestly. I mean, I give Scotty to McTominay some grief when he come on. Oh, here we go. Braveheart. Sean Connery. Sean Connery's coming on. Scott Summers prime. You know what I mean? Honestly, and the United fans were all looking like that. And when he equalised, everyone's looking at me, and I'm like, yeah, so what? It's an equaliser. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, it's okay. So what? I celebrated. It was more relief. But when he got the winner, there was absolutely fucking limbs everywhere, and everyone's pointing the fingers at me. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, it's nice. You know what I mean? So it was nice. It was that nice moment, but it's about continuing. I've heard a lot, like say, from the manager, he's got to be a turning point. He said that. Now, good. That's what I hear. I'm backing my manager. But these players coming out now, this is our turning point. We fight to the end. Scott McTominay, he said it. It's about a documentary. I watched that documentary on Friday. Boy, was I emotional. God, I thought this club can't get any worse with the blow after blow, with the Galatasaray fans in the home section, the BS coming out about the ticket office. We would never endanger Man United fans in the home end. Oh, I think you pretty well did. It was absolute smokescreen. And I thought, this is going to get worse, but we pulled it out of the fire Saturday. But this has to be a turning point. It has to be a line drawn in the sand with what's going on the pitch and off the pitch now. This comedy, this Netflix FC can't continue. We have to change it now. We have to go forward. You can think it's funny. I know it's a giggle. But it's got to change. It's got to change. Now, the international break's come at the wrong time, because that momentum's going to evaporate. And you know what I mean? I mean, Rashford came off after 63 minutes. God, did I cheer that. Ooh. God, did I cheer that. I said, get off. Get Garnacho. It was sort of a mix. Because Garnacho was coming on. The crowd were asking for Garnacho, and Rashford come. So it was sort of a mix between cheering and, it was quite ironic. It was like a 50-50 cheer. He took Casemiro off. That took balls. To do, and I'm glad he did it. The individual mistakes are costing us as well. Maguire to Casemiro loses it again. Lindelof, he was like a pinball wizard. Honest,
that's unfair, God. Andy.
What's unfair? What's unfair?
Say Maguire and Casemiro not so much, but in that defensive transition, Amrabat and Maguire did exactly what was needed. They played that perfectly fine. It was Lindelof putting it back, having poor.
Harry played the ball to Casemiro. Casemiro lost the ball, tried to get it again. They came on the attack. Lindelof, actually, he should have put it in Rossetti as a scuffed clearance. It was an Onana at the end. It was 4 mistakes. 4 mistakes led to that goal.
I just don't think. Go on,
this might be a bit off the topic, but I'm a bit confused as to why Lindelof's playing left back and not Deleuze.
Interesting one. Wish I knew.
The thing is, Deleuze has played left back before, and he's 2-footed, and he could possibly either foot.
It's width,
Why don't
Kahinde.
you just put Lindelof right back and where it's more natural for him? I don't understand why the reasoning behind that.
Because Lindelof is providing the width out on the right, so he's essentially operating as a sort of as like a winger or a right midfielder. Lindelof
He played on the
isn't.
left back though.
He played left back the other day. I'm saying Delo should be playing left back, not Lindelof.
Yeah, exactly. But Lindelof is not able to do anything in the wide areas on the right, and Delo is.
Right, so he can on the left.
So are you asking why Delo isn't playing right back and Lindelof is? Or
No, I'm asking why Delo isn't playing left back.
yeah, because in the system that we have, the left winger is Rashford, right? He's the one who's providing width on the left, right? Yeah. On the right, it's Delo who provides the width for the team.
Okay, that's a good point.
Lindelof can't provide the width the way that Delo can, and that's why he has him at right back.
All right, Andy. Everyone pause. We're just going to go for some comments. McTominay all day, says Mo Morris. Ed Mayhem saying here, welcome anyone at the club who knows their job, not just because they're ex-player or PR machine. Big T saying, from one great Scot to another, McTominay has to carry on Fergie's work. Sentiments, yeah. Obviously, the Scots coming on scoring. Ed Mayhem also saying, Andy, is it true the club said no to doing a tribute to Kathy? I don't know about that.
I've not heard anything about that. I don't know. I mean, the body armbands, it was applauding. But I was quite surprised there wasn't a minute's silence.
Okay.
Very surprised at that.
McTominay average, sell him, says Rajet. Andy, no one expected him to do what he did. So it wasn't just you.
This is what Tommy does, isn't it? He does a little bit and it goes quiet for 10, 15 games. This is why we have that debate all the time when I've been on in the past. You know,
Vincent saying it's nice to meet you, Andy, at the last match. You guys met up with Vincent and Andy. Next time, video it for us. UK Trader saying here, we needed to win. That's the most important thing, and we certainly did. The first goal was skillful. Everybody doesn't bury that. As Bath Time said earlier, it's so true. Big T saying we're crying out for performances. Better performances equals more wins. No passion, says Rajet. Rajet also saying Lindelof still not a natural right back. And Big T saying here, a keeper can't get his hand to the ball and not save it. It's not acceptable from Nonana. But when is he? So he's getting pelters as well. Zoe's saying here, the original ball from Maguire to Casemiro was schoolyard quality. So I can't remember the first goal. I only saw the second half. So I'm not too sure about that. But we lead on to this. And by the way, sorry, panel, you got any questions for Andy? Who's at the game?
I do.
Go on.
Andy, it was really apparent to me during the celebrations, because I watched them about 30 times. Delo absolutely dead on his feet. Like, when everyone's running after McTominay, Delo's just, literally unconscious on the edge of the box. Did he put in a mega shift? Or is he just not as fit as I thought he was?
I think he was about average. I mean, like you say, I think he was just relieved that we actually got somewhere. I don't think Delo's been involved in any drama like that in the last few years. So maybe the emotion got to him at the occasion. I don't know, but he was average Saturday, like a lot of them was. Like I say, if you check the stats in the media, they were getting Casemiro got a 2. They were 5 and 6. Very poor performances, you know what I mean. So it's like get out of jail. There were no 10 out of 10s, mate. At all. Even Delo got a low score, a 5. So, like you say, like the previous game against Crystal Palace in the league, Urgent said they got booed off. They really got booed off at Crystal Palace in the league, and they were coming over applauding. You know what? I didn't applaud him. I shouted what I thought of him, and I'm not ashamed. I give him the V sign. There's a few others. There's a few V signs. But all you want, from the team on the Tuesday in the cup. It's about giving your all, playing for the badge, playing together. And in that game against Crystal Palace, they didn't play together. And it's the same can be said for Saturday. They didn't play together. It was it's individual moments. You're supposed to work as a team to get individual moments. You know what I mean? Pass to me, pass to me, pass to me. Now you saw a little bit of that on Tuesday with Rashford. He set up Ireland. You know what I mean? So and he gives the goal. Like moments like that, but it's far too short because you're just getting individual moments. There's no. They say they're together. I don't think they are because it's still a burden. I mean, until maybe there's got to be a conclusion off the pitch soon. Maybe that will change the mindset at the club. Who knows?
I mean, Rashford definitely doesn't look like he's together with the team at all. And I would love to think that he saw like the scenes of like McTominay sliding about with all the glory, thinking that should be me. That's what I've got to be like aiming for. But I mean, I don't know if anyone wants to see it, but Andy was talking about like how there were no risks taken like in the game, and Match of the Day pointed it out. I've got a pass map from the first 60 minutes of the game. Please, if you want to see, do you want to see this, boys?
Yes, bring it on. Let me.
Yeah, please do.
But it's not just about the pass map. Please give you an idea, because a lot of these graphics people don't really sort of know how to calculate or to recognise, me including. So you have to explain.
Okay.
I would be
looks like molecules and DNA. Exactly. Is that Man United's DNA?
That's Man United DNA, Andy.
Yeah. If you fuse it together, do we actually get out of this mess?
Maybe, but all right. So what you have here is obviously the numbers correspond to the players, and the thickness of the line is the amount of passes that were played in between the players and their average positions. So this was United's average position, and the first thing is you see Johnny Evans way at the back as part of a diamond between the 2, the 4 and the 5. But I want you to look at number 11, which is Rasmus Højlund. How many passes do you see getting into Højlund? Zero. How many passes do you see coming from Rashford?
None. 10. None.
None. Bingo. There's no passes. And what you're looking at here, like Andy was talking about how we weren't taking any risks, and you can see that this is a fairly sort of asinine and flaccid Ten Hag system of trying to get 5 players across the 5 zones, which is the 10, the 11, the 7, the 8, and the 20. Like Hinde there, 20 is Delo, obviously. You can see that's why he's playing at right back, because he's providing the width. And Lindelof at left back isn't really providing width there.
But sorry, that was the contradiction. You just said about that's why he's playing right back, providing the width, because Rashford's doing it on the left, but he's obviously not. Clearly,
yeah, he's not. And that's why I think he's getting hauled off on the 65th minute.
Yeah.
Like, when do you remember that bit? Like, Andy, I'm sure you were over the moon when you saw little Garnacho racing back against some Man Mountain player from Brentford. That we haven't seen that from Rashford for years. He tracked him like 40 yards or something like that. And Garnacho, the key thing he was doing was holding the width. And that means that you can stretch the block more. So when you look at this passing map, you can see that there's no real sort of like, we're not trying to play in between the lines. We're just moving the ball slowly in front of a block. And it's not the United way. It's not good for these players, and it's definitely not good for the results. And you can also see we're completely ill protected in the centre of the pitch with the gaps between Maguire, Amrabat and Casemiro.
Yeah. I do believe, like you say, the energy from Garnacho. I'll go back to the other game as well. Brighton, I'm going to say the Palace game, Cup game. Hannibal, he put some of them players to shame. He really did. He really did with the energy. The youngsters like seem to want it. They've got the bit between the teeth, and it's good. And that's what I want to see. But why doesn't the penny drop with like Rashford? And like Bruno, I even thought Bruno was stinking the place out on Saturday, and Bruno got man of the match. I heard.
No.
Could someone confirm that? I heard Bruno was the man of the match. So somebody mentioned it. Said I heard it on the radio or something. He got Man United man of the match, and I'm like, I'm just shaking my head. I'm like, wow, God, they're milking this PR crap, aren't it? So it's just the penny has to drop soon. We've got big matches coming. So if, like I say, I said this on a paddock, what God-given right have you got to play in this team, if you are not performing, that goes for Bruno, goes for Rashford, goes for Casemiro, goes for Unana, much as I love him. You know what I mean? Things things will go right, and I believe that. But if you're not performing in any walk of life in a job, you have to be taken out. And like you say, Rashford's body language as well. I mean, he had one little shot at Stretford End on Saturday, didn't he? He got through two players, and
Yeah.
he tapped it. I mean, that was a little bit of Rashford, but you know what I mean? If there was a bit more power in that shot, he might have troubled the keeper.
No
But
conviction.
no
Andy,
conviction.
Andy, with your point there, the managers you're saying about if you're not performing, then you have to be taken off. He took off Rashford, he took off Casemiro, and the guys that are, first team starters, you imagine. So he's making the right decisions. Surely you've got to back the manager for doing exactly what the crowd think, and we're still all watching the same game, and these guys are not delivering at the moment, it seems.
Yeah, well, they didn't deliver against Crystal Palace, so I don't know why they changed it. They didn't change it for Saturday. Like we say with the previous Crystal Palace game, every game is different. I understand that. With the cup game, why didn't you go back to that energy and that pattern and you're trying that? Because we did well. I know it was a depleted Crystal Palace side, a different one, but we played with a lot of conviction, a lot of possession, and a lot of work rate. And Rashford and Ireland were sat on the bench. He didn't even get a look in. So I don't understand why we didn't go with that again on Saturday. We went straight back to plan A. But it doesn't look like a plan A. It's plan B, plan C, plan D, plan E. And it looks like we may have to go now. We want to get up in the league and get in that top four. We may have to revert back to last season. We've scored 9 goals. 9 league goals we've scored all season. That is pathetic. I know we let a few in. I understand that. But it's pathetic. How's Highland supposed to get the supply? And first, you start from the back and you work your way through. You don't go to the middle, then pull back. Too safe football. It's like a Jadon Sancho mentality. It is. Play it safe. I worked myself into a great position. I don't know what I do. Oh my God, I'll turn back. You know what I mean?
All right. Get in there. You're a centre back. Harry Maguire's come out. He's had a lot of pelters, but he had a good game. He set up the goal for the winner as well. Fair play to him. He clears his house, doesn't he? As I said about, that's one of your main jobs. That's one thing, a good quality of Harry Maguire. He clears his house. And when that ball got sent in last minute, he won the header. Out of all the Brentford giant centre-backs, he's the one who won it. Now, he's issued a rallying cry, Kinde, saying after the Man United game against Brentford, he said here, clearly, he said that was a really important win. Obviously, it's been a difficult time for us at the start of this season. We've not had the results that as a club demand. Like I said, I think the season must start now. He also goes on to say, this must serve as a springboard to start the season. This must be a turning point for us all as individuals and as a club. We must kick on from that. Now, isn't that a rousing speech from the captain, Guinde? I mean, big centre-back has come up and, set up the goal and everything else. How do you feel about Harry Maguire? And is those words, is that inspiring for you?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to say that. And he's obviously full of confidence because he set up the goal and all that. There's good timing for him to speak up after all the howlers that he's been having and, everyone mocking him. I like him as a player. I think he should be playing at the moment. Varane's not fit, Martinez is not there, and I just think he's as a centre back. The main thing is that for me, always defend first. And my issue with Lindelof, he's not aggressive enough. And I think one of the goals, Crystal Palace, doesn't get through. Just defend first. That's the most important thing. Once you do that, you get win those first few headers, first few challenges. Your game builds, the confidence builds, and everything. And I think Maguire, if you just put him with a guy playing with a guy who's got pace and all that, it can work quite well. So I just want to see him play more games and get his confidence back because I know there's a good player in there. You don't get to World Cup semi-finals and Euro finals if you're a bad player.
Okay. The banner here is saying, can we turn the season around? Now, with that rallying cry from Maguire, our former captain, how do you guys feel in the panel? Bath time and followed by Andy. Talk to me about this because Maguire's coming out. after everything he's been through, the negativity, he's been positive here, saying this could be the catalyst to something big.
It has to be. We've seen a brilliant moment at Old Trafford with like an academy player coming on and scoring 2 late goals. Everyone in raptures. It looks like the old days. That's got to mean something at the end of the season. It can't just be we went from 11th to 9th. It's got to mean something, and it's got to mean Champions League at the minimum. And that is the challenge that is in front of us. And Kahinde's talking about like Lindelof and Maguire and things like that. I couldn't agree more about Lindelof not being aggressive enough. And Harry Maguire is sort of like turning into the old regular in the pub that's just there all the time, like sitting in the corner. Some days,
Uncle Albert.
yes, exactly. Some days he says something good.
Point him out, yeah.
You know, some days he says something good. Some days he says something quite slightly questionable, but he's part of the furniture now. But what I want, right, is I think like everyone here, I had this fear last season, and the fear was Pep Guardiola in a Haaland wig on top of a bus going around Manchester after winning the treble. And I wanted every single United player to watch that parade and think, never again. We're not going to let that happen. And when you look at players like Lindelof and Rashford, I want them to look at McTominay, he's been a joke, he's been a donkey or whatever, but he's delivered at the right moments through will and through skill. And they've got to look at that as an example now, because we haven't seen a player lead on the pitch since probably Ronaldo. And we've seen it from McTominay, who took the game by the scruff of the neck and just wasn't having any of it, and he scored. And I want that to go through the whole team, and that's how we turn it around. It's not that Rashford gets better at keepy uppies. It's about we fight as a team, that we look at McTominay and we don't throw the manager under the bus. Like, and even if that is watching bloody Netflix all night, Jadon Sancho up till 5 a.m. watching it, I don't care. But it has to mean something, doesn't it, Andy?
Yeah, it does. And I don't want to say a flash in a pan moment. But they stood there and watched City lift an FA Cup and basically eradicate our history, so equal it. And at the start of the season, I thought that, you know, Ten Hag made them players watch it, didn't he? He made that team watch him lift that FA Cup. We have staggered and stuttered since winning the Carabao Cup.
Mm-hmm.
It's in this team to implode. It's in this team to turn up. Now, this just can't be another moment like last season. Like we beat Barcelona, we had a fantastic home record, beat City, beat Arsenal, beat Liverpool. It has to be a catalyst. Words mean nothing. Actions speak louder than words. I heard this a lot from Michael Carrick back in the day. Like you say, tough talk, nothing on the pitch with some of the United performances over the years. You know, do your talking on the pitch, man. I'm sick of hearing it. Look, enjoy the moment. Walk into the England camp. 10 men, you know, like that. Check me out, ladies. Yo. You know, that's what I mean. Yeah, check me out. It's like I say, things can be solved. I mean, Jesus Christ, they solved the Tupac murder. But in the words of Man United, in the words of his song, some things will never change because we lost on the Saturday to the Crystal Palace and we lost to Galatasaray. But this moment just can't be just another, it's 3 minutes of ecstasy. Wow. I've had 3 minutes of ecstasy playing an Xbox game when you clear the level. But it has to mean something. And if the penny does not drop with these players, they're going to get the heat. Because believe me, mate, they were like 2-3 minutes away from getting serious shit. He was on Saturday. You know what I mean? It's amazing what a goal can do. But it was so close to getting real shit on Saturday. Well, and it can't happen again.
I hope they felt that, because a player like McTominay, like you said, has come through the academy, who knows what it means, and he delivered when it really matters, and he's been around. And it's great that you referred to the Netflix documentary as well. It does make you feel good. Good watching all those highlights again. What a great team you were. And at the end of the show, I'm going to ask all you guys on the panel as well, just to analyse Beckham as a player, because I think sometimes you must have forgot, as they say about Roy Jones, you must have forgot. But I want you to think about it while we're doing the show. We've only got a few minutes left. I want you to give me an analysis about how good David Beckham really was. Don't think about his brand. Don't think about anything. As a footballer, let's talk about Beckham at the end of the show. Anyway, we're going to move on very quickly. Can we Mac turn the season around? I love these banners, bath time, with the Mac turn and all that kind of thing. We saw City lose. City, they've lost Mahrez, they've lost Gundogan. Are they weak this season? Are they?
Rodri, they're losing Rodri. So I think selling.
Good. So is there opportunity here? You talk about top four. We were 100-1 the other day to win the title. Now that might be, almost impossible. You might think, but how's the Premiership looking now? Spurs are up there. We played these teams. Arsenal up there. I think they're bottle jobs. Man City looking a bit vulnerable. Liverpool, they're looking powerful at the moment, but can they keep that up? I mean, gauge the Premier League for me, Kahinde, and just tell me, can we turn the season around? Is there opportunity, like there was last season, to come third, where not everyone's playing at their best, and we can actually climb that table? What's your thoughts on the Premier League and Man United's chances getting up at the table?
We haven't even got into first gear, I don't think, yet. I think, like, the squads that we've got is stronger than last season. It has to be, because we added players. So we've got a stronger squad than last season. But unfortunately, it's just like, I posted the injury list in the group the other week. We've had a lot of injuries, and I think Ten Hag has to just work out what his best team is and play that first 11 consistently. I don't want to say upset, but I'm disappointed with the Jadon Sancho situation, because I like him as a player, and I think he's one of our creative players and he should be playing. But we'll see what unfolds with that in January, and if we bring in a replacement. But I think the Premier League's wide open, honestly. Like, I think City are not going to be that strong this year. I don't really think they strengthened that much, and they've won it 3 years in a row. I don't think it's going to be their main focus again. Liverpool are still not all the way there yet. Arsenal will be challenging, but I don't know if it's too late. I'll probably say not this season we'll be title contenders, but I think top four again, and hopefully we'll get qualified for our Champions League. I think again this season is about just building momentum again once more. We won a trophy last season. We got in the top four. I think it's just building again as a team. I would say more so next season we've got to go for the title. I think it's a bit too soon.
Okay. Bath time, you also put a banner about team changes. So do you want to just incorporate that about how we turn the season around as well, please?
Yeah. So, like, Andy earlier was talking about how the penny has to drop and stuff like that, and in particularly reference Hannibal Magebury. Against Palace in the league game, we saw Eriksen come on for Maybury, and Eriksen does not do the running that Maybury does. And Maybury, what does he protect on Monday as that right-sided midfielder?
He protects the interior area and getting back.
The channel.
The channel, sorry, yeah.
That's the space between the full-back and the centre-back. And that is exactly where Crystal Palace ripped us apart. Lindelof, Amrabat, Varane all pulled out of position because there wasn't a midfield runner there. Like, I think if we're going to turn this season around, I'm not with you and Kahinde. I think City are. Do you remember how rubbish they were this time last year, and they ended up winning the treble? I really wouldn't write them off to absolutely destroy us.
I don't think the Premiership is going to be their main priority. I think the Champions League again. That's all I'm saying. They'll be up, but I don't think it's their priority.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I don't know what our priority is at the moment, the Carabao Cup or something.
And a good Champions League run.
Yeah, that's really important. I think that what we need to do is we need to go back to basics, and we need to take a real hard look at Rashford, Bruno, Casemiro, the players that we sort of think should be like standing up and like winning us games and motivating the team and stuff. And even Varane with his injury issues. look where we need to improve, and then Ten Hag to stop being like some sort of dogmatic philosopher and just look at the squad and say like, look, we've got McTominay, who is an outrageous goal scoring midfielder. I mean, I think most people here would say he's average to below average outside of the box. You put him in the box and he's something else. Like, he's doing what Mount and Bruno and people can't do. Kahinde, he is though.
No, I'm not on last 15 minutes of the game. But what I'm saying about McTominay is that he's not a specialist in any position. That's why he doesn't start.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what we should be like looking for now, is to see what is McTominay good at. He's good at running. He's good at physicality. He's good at goal scoring, right? Let's have him 25 minutes. Like, bring him on for the last 25 minutes to give us a physical presence in the box or something.
That's fine.
Because we're not getting the ball in the box, are we?
That's fine.
Eriksen,
not a starter.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say he's a starter in the current system, but maybe it is the system that needs to change to maximise these players. This system we have has got us to 9th with like the worst start in 40 years or something. If we're going to turn things around, we've got to start looking at the players in the system and getting the best blend like possible, instead of keep playing a disinterested Marcus Rashford, keep leaving Casemiro by himself to either lose the ball or get passed on transitions. Like, we've got the international break. We've got a little bit of breathing space after that result. We've got to come back with a sort of an identity and a way to score goals, because we're not like what they got to do in training is work backwards, start from scoring the goal and work out how we got to that position.
Yeah,
because like we're winning the ball high up the pitch. We're doing loads of nice things for statisticians and stuff. But it's about results now. We've got to start grinding results out and using the squad in the best way.
I think the issue with Man United at the moment is the wide areas, the two wingers, because Rashford's not producing anything on the left, and with the right winger, we're supposed to be an inverted winger, but we tried Palestri there, we put Medri and all that, and I think that's where a lot of teams they get their goals from the wide areas, and I don't think the wide players are performing.
So are you saying Rashford out?
At the moment, if he's not playing well, but then who do you bring in? Because for me, Garnacho is still not a starter, because he's a guy to come on the last 15, 20 minutes and when there's tired legs. And I would have said Sancho, but because of the situation at the moment,
Anthony?
Anthony, I like, but he's got to think about producing more for Højlund or whoever's playing ahead of him.
You put him on the left.
Yeah, but this is not the 1994 like Giggs and Kanchelskis no more.
We should be so lucky.
If only. Andy, over to you. Let's wrap this up. So, how do we turn this season around, and what changes do we make as well? Because it's really important. We need to know with momentum. Obviously, it's international break, but we need that momentum going forward. Hopefully, a few players being shit to themselves and thanking McTominay and saying, "Right, sorry guys, let's turn this around." But how do we go about it? And is the Premiership as strong as it's touted to be right now, with Man City selling players, playing Rico Lewis in midfield and all this kind of thing? Is it there for the taking still?
I don't think we're there for the league, but we've definitely got a chance of winning the top four. I mean, at Man City, like, you've lost 3 out of the last 4. I know a team that has that invincibility. We had that as United fans, and City got that. You know what I mean? You can lose a couple and you go, you know what? You don't lose any sleep over it. City still can win the league, but I hope they don't. Or somebody else wins it for a change. But I won't, let's say, City's are not going to lose any sleep with their targets. Anyway, but the penny has to drop now with these players. We have to get going. If Rashford has a good international, say the international, he scores for England, McTominay, Maguire plays well, they go away, it's great, and it comes back, and it's the same as. It can't be happening like this. The penny has to drop. If you're not performing well, players have to be dropped. It's Casemiro, Bruno, Rashford, they have to be dropped again. The penny has to drop. If they go away now and have blinders for Portugal, England, Scotland, Eriksen, He played. He had a blinder in his last international tournament with Denmark, didn't it? His last game, I think he was man of the match, and Ireland scored as well. So they can't just go away and it's 10-9 and come back and go back into a shell. The penny has to drop, and I would, like I say, I would drop Rashford for Sheffield United. I mean, that is a banana skin waiting to happen. I don't care, reputation alone. It's about results now. 5th place is doable. 4th place is doable. The Carabao Cup is doable. Europe, I think, you know what? Bayern Munich could play Galatasaray twice, so it's not beyond the realms of possibility. By the time we've done them 2 games, we could be just ahead of Galatasaray going to Turkey, knowing we don't lose, and we got Bayern Munich last game, they'll already be qualified. So it's still in United's hands to do it, but these players have to seize the moment, and if the penny doesn't drop, we could be, let's say, that Manchester derby. Man City could just go. A couple of years ago, we had a training exercise at Old Trafford, and we never even got going. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. So they can't. Last seat, take heart. We did them at Old Trafford, but we can't not just turn up at Manchester derby. You have to turn up every game coming. Carabao Cup, Champions League. I want to beat Newcastle. I want to beat Gothenburg home and away. It's about getting runs. We have to go on and beat them run now. Between now and Christmas, we have to go on a run. And we're in the same position like last year. After we won, we lost to Brentford, Brighton. We won 4 on the spin. Then we lost to City. We went on another run before Christmas, before the World Cup. And it's the same sort of position. We have to go on another run now. I know we'll lose games again, but we have between now and Christmas. We have to go on a run to be in that top 4, 5. Then I know we've got a chance of finishing in the top 4, and maybe trying to get to Wembley again and winning the Carabao Cup, or even going in the FA Cup and Champions League. So it's about consistency, working together, getting a form, and these players, you can't live on reputation and big wages alone. You have to do it on the pitch. And Ten Hag has done that. He's dropped 2 players in his last game. He got them off, and they say that has to be. They have to fear that.
Okay, we're winding up now. You did mention Gothenburg, who we played from the 90s and bought Blomqvist off them, didn't we? Who ended up winning the Champions League medal. You meant Copenhagen, but
God, I'm getting mixed up with Copenhagen.
Yeah,
I'm not even on the base tonight. I'm sober.
All right, so Alex saying they class 92. Were family, they play for each other in the club and the fans. So we see what's going with that. Because I did ask everyone for their opinion of Beckham. I hope you've seen the documentary at the end of the show. We're coming to you guys very soon. Scholesy was better than Beckham, says Stephanie Griffiths. One player Bergie would never sell. Debatable. Spurs are winning the league, says Big T. I don't know about that. 1 year ago today, says Steve H., who's a Sheffield United fan, not sure. Cristiano Ronaldo became the first player in history to score more than 700 club goals. He scored a winner for Man United against Everton. That's a long time ago now. Big up to Solo. He's saying we've gone backwards. Not sure we'll finish top 6 this season. Couple more to finish. Big fish in a little pond is McTominay in the box. Mac Fellaini incoming says someone. I think Bruno will need a rest. He's played most pro games. Certainly has. Big up Stephanie Griffiths. She's saying play Anthony on the left and Plessia on the right. Simple. Going back to what we used to do. As Alex is backing up by saying we've got to play the United way. Get the ball to wingers, cross the ball, and let the forwards attack the ball. Like Fergie used to get numbers in the box. Defenders don't defend cross balls like that anymore. All right, here we go. Let's wind up the show and just make it. I'm going to give you all the opportunity here. You've all felt the documentary. Have you watched it, Kinde? The documentary on Beckham?
I haven't yet. No.
All right. I'm going to start with you then. David Beckham. Talk to me. World class. All right, here's the thing. Underrated, overrated, world class or not? And is he a legend?
I'd have to say he's world class because I just think about going back to the time when I was growing up in his position. He was the best. There was him and Luis Figo. I'd say probably Figo was better than him. But when you think world class, you've got to say are you top 5, top 2 or 3 players in the world in your position. And in his position, he was the best. He used to deliver the goods every week, and he was a free kick specialist. I used to watch him. I used to, when I was younger, try and play like him. Have that good delivery, good passing range, and everything else like that. And for a player who had no pace, didn't really have the best pace, but had a great engine to get up and down. He was really great to watch because a lot of people like what wingers' skills beat a man, but he was really intelligent. Like, so how he just needed a yard, and that was it. And then just whip the ball in. I used to love his technique. So
underrated or overrated? You said world class.
I don't know. Like, this is what I'm saying. I don't know how I was perceiving as but for me, he was world class. So he's not talked about enough. He's more talked about for his famous status rather than his football skills.
Okay.
Really.
Bath time. I'm going to end with you, Andy, about David Beckham. World class or not? Underrated, overrated, and just summarise what sort of a player he was for those who might not remember.
David Beckham is a legendary player and part of the greatest midfield that the Premier League has ever seen. He's had an enormous impact on my life because I once saw that he outstripped everyone in a Premier League game of football and ran 13 kilometres, which was 3 kilometres more than everyone else. And so, as you bring up quite a lot on Monday, I run 6 kilometres every morning and I try and do it in 45 minutes to be like David Beckham so I can have that same relentlessness. His set pieces were magical. He played for the club. Him and Gary Neville were almost unbeatable as a right-hand side. Like, David Beckham is a legend of this football club. For me, he never hit the heights after he left Manchester United. Like, it was, and he's one of our own. I can't praise him enough. He's been a credit to the club and to the country. The mentality he showed to come back after the World Cup '98 and win us a treble in the most romantic style ever. I've got all the time in the world for David Beckham, and anyone who says he's overrated, I don't know what rated is if you think Beckham's overrated. He was a wonderful player, and we should all just consider it a pleasure that we had him in our lives.
Woo, lovely speech. Andy, can you top that?
Oh boy, I wish I could, because I watched the documentary, finished it off last night. I had tears in my eyes, man. He empathises what the Man United team needs to be now. He basically was the best in the world from, I would say, 98 going through to 2003. I was absolutely heartbroken when he got sold. Absolutely tormented. And like I say, I've seen his career. I was at that game when he met Posh Spice, and I was the one.
Andy.
Yeah, and I was the one. And I was the one wolf whistling at Posh Spice and the other Spice girl, because I thought, yeah, very tasty. But yeah, he's everything at Man United. I mean, the abuse he got after the World Cup was pathetic. Glenn Hoddle, absolutely pathetic with his views on Beckham. To come back to win a treble. So I was there when he scored against Greece. I had my England top on, but I had my United shirt underneath, and I took my United England top off, beating my United badge. And I think he seen me. On the lap of honour. I don't know, because I was right up the Stretford end, left hand side when that ball went in. He sort of saluted the Stretford end. So yeah, and I do think he is one of the best footballers ever I have seen, English-wise, in the last, like I say, 40 years. I say, with me, it would be Brian Robson as well. And seeing him on the end of that documentary, when he said that he's got Messi coming in, Messi scoring that free kick at the end. No spoilers for me, my friend on the right. I don't want spoilers for him. But yeah, and what he said on Sky as well, and what's been said today, God, I hope he's involved in Qatar takeover, because from not a nostalgia point, you know it'll be in good hands. You know, he could bring pulling power to the club again. You know, he's got a business head on him as well. He's like say, he's done his like you say, he's got a happy family. He's got a fortune. He's got very fashion conscious. He was in Qatar. He looked the dog's bollocks to say the least as well. So yeah, he was absolutely brilliant, and I hope he's involved if Qatar take over because like you say, you may know something. The British media know nothing. They want the exclusive on who's going to take over the club. So I just think the foreign media know more and the Qatari media know more. So does David Beckham than the English media. Because it's Sir Jim, Sir Ratcliffe. I don't care. I want Qatar. I want this put to bed. There will be a conclusion to this. It's just a question of when. And I just hope it's soon because after this weekend and all the emotion, I think we're entitled to it. And then Parasites owe us a conclusion on this story, and it needs to be put to bed. And Beckham needs to be involved in this new dawn.
Wow, well said. Let's go to the comments quickly and wrap this up. Bex equals world class, says DK Wilson. Big up DK Wilson. Good footballer, great set piece caretaker, brilliant businessman. So footballer is the weakest of his attributes, he's saying there. Beckham was great, says Rajat. UK Strange is saying here, did you know Beckham had 4 hair transplants since 2015? Doesn't matter. Beckham was a set-piece master, but was not the best in his position we had. I was gutted Kanchelskis left, and then we had a completely different player in Beckham, but more effective for me, even though Kanchelskis scored enough goals one season, about 17, 18 goals. Zoe saying here, I don't know about Glenn Hoddle and Beck's issue at the 98 World Cup.
I do.
Didn't know about it, she's saying, yeah. Well, it was common knowledge. He said it. But when I watched the documentary, I realized, but I like Glenn Hoddle because he said it and he meant it because he did warn him before the tournament about things like that. So yeah. I'm with Hoddle on that one. Anyway, not about me, it's about Stephanie Griffiths. She said here, Bex was a legend of United, could also play centre midfield, and he did in the 99 Champions League final, which was magnificent. WWE 2K saying the media killed Beckham for the way he used to talk. Not now. Zoe saying here, Beck should have won Player of the Year and a Ballon d'Or in '99. He was nominated, wasn't he? Reggie saying here, they did an advert about the way footballers talk or something back in the day. Okay. Zoe saying here, Bex was world's first superstar player. His name went global, and that was before social media as well. David Beckham says UK Strange sold the Saudis. All right, come on now, guys. Big T's got one here. Question: Beckham or Ronaldo in Fergie's dream team? He can only pick one.
Easy.
Who?
Ronaldo, innit? It has to be.
Ronaldo's like one of the greatest players of all time.
Okay. And Bex was world class. Was world's first. Oh, we've done that one. Final one. I love Scholes and Bex in this team. Could you imagine having Maguire's massive head for Bex to bounce balls off into the goal? Oh well. All right. Yeah. So we established he was a world class player at Man United.
Yes.
And
if you're from another planet and you don't know, yeah, they would have another opinion. But yeah, outstanding vote, yes.
I sometimes get blinded by the abuse and everything else. And was he, did he step up? And when I watched the documentary, what he did for England after the event, after the 98 issue and every other kind of thing, and what he did for England, that he was obsessed, wasn't he? Kind of obsessed the way he drove them to that tournament. And I felt they're really unlucky, with the game against Argentina, for example. That was a good team. And I think they could have gone really far in 98. It's just really unfortunate. That was their time to really shine. David Beckham for me, I didn't say it before, but I think, yeah, he probably was world class. And I do appreciate him even more so after
it wasn't Beck's fault. Who took the penalties? David batted Paul Ince. If you score him, it was just like the hatred on Beckham was unreal.
And always look for a scapegoat when they lose. That's the thing.
Yeah, but if your man gets sent off as a player, no matter what people, you'll be saying, "What the hell are you doing?" He got sent off in that game. Come on, man.
Was it even a sending off?
Yeah, but he got sent off.
2-2. The scoreline changed. It's not like they lost 3-2. It's still 2-2 and went to penalties.
Yeah, but wouldn't you still be pissed with come on, man. I'm going. Say it's your last tournament. Say you're Paul Ince and it's your last ever World Cup tournament, and you got to look this guy in the eye, come in and say, and crying your heart out, and you see this guy got sent off for petulance after Glenn Holder warned you about it, and you got sent off, and we had to run and work our asses off for the rest of the game, go to penalties and lose, and you got to face Beckham in the change room. Surely, I agree with you. Emotional here. I would be pissed.
But I think sometimes things are just meant to happen for people, because after that, we the 98-99 season, we won the treble. He was one of the players of the year. He got second for player of the year. And then everyone remembers what he did for Greece, dragging England to a World Cup, and then scoring the winning penalty in the World Cup 2002 against Argentina.
Oh, forgot about that. Yeah.
Sometimes things are meant to happen. That was all character building. That was all.
What about poor Sol Campbell? He had the header ruled out in that game, and then did he not have one ruled out in a Champions League final as well?
He scored in the
Good old Arsenal. Always got a seat to cheer you up.
All right, and one thing I will say, Bartholomew, you mentioned that his best form was at Man United. I do agree, actually. Good point. He went to Real Madrid, didn't he?
Yeah, that Real Madrid team was dysfunctional because they sold Makaleli the season they got him.
Yeah, but he did win a La Liga, so I mean, to win trophies in Spain, Italy. I don't know if he won anything in Italy with AC Milan, but to win and in PSG, he's won major leagues in Europe, so that is something.
And he looks like an outstanding beekeeper, which surprised me at the start of the documentary, I've got to be honest. Did you see that? He's in a beekeeping outfit.
Oh, yeah.
It's personalised.
Yeah, I've seen that.
David Beckham beekeeping outfit.
Posh named the honey something like...
His gooey stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Did you see him at the FA Cup final? Did you see the way he was feeling? Did you see the look on his face at City on the treble? He knows that's what, with that interview, the look on his face that day at the cup final and what he wants now. He wants to be involved, and I just hope it happens.
Is he allowed to be though, Andy? He's a club owner. Like, I know it's a different league, but
different country. An ambassador is different to an owner. You're just advising people. I mean, Brent Robson's is an ambassador. Alex Ferguson's an ambassador. So, not wrong with being an ambassador. I mean, if you're on the books, then that's different. But
pick up the Ferrero Rocher.
Yeah, or put it one way. If Beckham comes in at United, we're playing into Miami in a friendly. You know we are.
Yeah, big time.
Messi will be at Old Trafford. Nice one, but if I'll be there. I want to see Messi at Old Trafford in a friendly.
Guys, we're going to wrap it up now. It's been established that we want players with will. And David Beckham, he had talent. He had the skill and the will. He certainly showed that. And I
think I'll watch it again.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to turn it on now. Kahinde, make sure you go and watch it if you've got Netflix. Honestly, it's well worth it. Bath time, final words before we sign out.
Enjoy the international break, lads.
Good shout. Andy, thanks for coming on. We've missed you. Hopefully we'll be seeing more of you very soon.
You will. I mean, I'll pop in, like you say. I'll be here, I'll be there. I'll be floating about, not in space, but yeah, I'll be around.
Well, so we're delighted to have you on.
Like Tupac says, I get around. Hey!
Any Tupac quotes there, Kahinde?
Nah, I'm not a Tupac fan at all.
Okay.
It's because he looks like Suge Knight.
Yeah. I murdered him.
Keefy D, man. He was in the Cadillac. Keefy D, man. Really? He's in a jail cell now. He's in a jail cell in Las Vegas. Department of Corrections.
On that note, I'm done. Kahinde, you're done out here, man. We'll see. And I'll be around soon with some food. Later, guys.
Peace.